as monsoon season sweeps into the valley, let's ask the expert about our health. Here to answer your questions live on air is Dr. Natasha Bhuyan. All right, our first question. Can the dust carry carcinogens? If so, what?
Well, I don't want to scare anyone, but yes, the dust can be dangerous. And in the Southwest in particular, dust can carry silica. And if people inhale that in their lungs, that does increase people's risk of lung cancer in the long run. And so we do say you have to be careful in the dust. The other thing about the dust is it can carry things like pesticides and herbicides. And so again, the dust isn't safe to inhale. And this is why we say in a dust storm, get inside if you can, because it really does have a lot of dangerous substances mixed in there.
I did not think of that. Okay, that's interesting. Next question. Are the Zika and West Nile viruses still big concerns?
Well, West Nile virus is actually endemic to Arizona. And so every season we tend to see cases, usually about 100 cases. But I think a couple years ago in 2021, we had like 1,700 cases. And so there are some seasons where it becomes a lot worse than others.
And even some deaths.
Yes, there's some deaths, a lot of neurological impairment. So this can be dangerous. It's really good to be vigilant about West Nile. Zika is not endemic to Arizona. And so if we see Zika, it tends to be from people who traveled and got infected globally and then perhaps brought it back to Arizona. But West Nile is endemic. The other one to worry about is a disease called St. Louis encephalitis. I know it has St. Louis in the name. Similar to West Nile, it is another disease that mosquitoes carry. And so this is why we want to avoid those mosquito bites. And if you get a mosquito bite and then you feel sick a few days later, don't hesitate to see a doctor.
Ooh, okay, good advice. Do colds, viruses, and COVID spread differently in dry air versus more humid air?
This is a great question. It actually does spread differently, and it tends to spread actually more easily in dry air. And the reason why is because those viruses travel in little particles in the dry air. They're not as heavy, and so they can travel further, and so people tend to get a bit more sick in dry air.
Oh, that's so interesting. Then it's next question. The mosquitoes are so bad. What do you recommend for bites? I love this because I can relate to this.
And every time I sit outside during the dust,
I call it sweet blood.
Yes, it's like my legs and my arms are all covered. And so here's a couple things I tell people. Make sure that you wash the area if you get a bite, and then use ice to decrease the inflammation. And a really good trick is to make baking soda and water paste. If you apply that to a mosquito bite, it's kind of a natural anti-inflammatory. It can soothe the skin, it can decrease the inflammation. After you apply that, then you can use an anti-itch cream or an anti-inflammatory cream that's over the counter, but that often keeps it at bay.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Baking soda and water, make the paste, put it on
for
how long?
Bites. Just 20 minutes is sufficient, 10 to 20 minutes. It should calm down that mosquito bite, because if you don't apply anything to the mosquito bite, the next day it can be really big.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I am so doing that. All right, next question. Do you know of any natural remedies for mosquito bites? I think this goes back to what you said. I've heard lavender soap, Avon's Skin So Soft, etc., but do they really work, or am I just wasting my money?
Okay, so there's two approaches. So for actual bites, lavender oil does work. Chamomile, basil, vino, I think those are really good things to apply on mosquito bites. Aloe vera, it can be soothing and it can be calming. That does work. Now, preventing mosquito bites is another story. I know a lot of people, they don't want to wear DEET or mosquito repellent. Even though it is really effective, some people don't want a synthetic, chemical. And so they've looked into plant-based repellents, and there's some that do work with pine or peppermint. The problem is they only last 20 minutes. And so if you use a plant-based mosquito repellent, you have to keep reapplying every 20 to 30 minutes, whereas if you use DEET or something synthetic, it lasts for about 5 hours.
And it's safe?
It's safe to use. It's been studied by the EPA. It is safe to use, and there's different percentages in strength. And if you're worried, you can use a lower strength at like 10%.
Oh, that's so good to know. And you know what, you're right. I have started to see more plant-based repellent.
Yeah, because people are trying to be, aware of environmental carcinogens, which I think is good, but also we have to weigh that against, you don't want a mosquito bite because that can have diseases as well. So.
Excellent advice. Baking soda and water. Okay, I'm so doing that. Thank you so much, Natasha. Always great to have you.